Misbehaviour is a comedy drama and history film starring Keira Knightley, Gugu Mbatha-Raw, Jessie Buckley, Lesley Manville, and Greg Kinnear. It is directed by Philippa Lothorpe. The film is set in 70s London, where a group of women plan to disrupt a beauty pageant.
They're turning oppression into spectacle. Let's make a spectacle of our own. We'd infiltrate the theatre.
Misbehaviour is based on the true story of the protest by the women's liberation movement during the 1970 Miss World pageant in London. The pageant was already facing controversy around South Africa's representation by two entrants, one black and one white. The evening was further marred before the televised contest even began, but came to a head when Bob Hope, played by Greg Kinnear, who was the celebrity host for the televised event, was pelted by flower bombs and heckled on stage. The narrative revolves around various women. Keira Knightley as Sally Alexander, Gugu Mbatha-Raw as Jennifer Hostin, Jessie Buckley as Jo Robinson, and Lesley Manville as Dolores Hope, Bob's wife. Sally Alexander is a recently divorced single mother trying to make her way into University College London to study history. Keira Knightley's portrayal perfectly captures Sally as a woman torn between her personal values and family. On the other hand, Jessie Buckley brings a firebrand quality to the rabble-rouser Jo Robinson, who is willing to do whatever it takes to make her voice heard. Gugu Mbatha-Raw gives a grounded performance as an aspiring Miss Grenada, Jennifer Hostin, who sees the pageant as a launchpad for her goals and ambitions. Lesley Manville's understated take on the long-suffering Dolores Hope is impactful in a relatively small role. In fact, her last words in the film could come across as slightly campy, but the way Lesley Manville delivers them gives them more weight. As director Philippa Lothorpe weaves these multiple storylines around each other, the overlapping narratives tend to become long drawn. And while this ensures that each ankle is given ample weight throughout the film, the middle act meanders as a result. Still, the climax is riveting, if not a definitive call to feminist action. There's a confrontation between the characters played by Keira Knightley and Gugu Mbatha-Raw that may feel too tidy in its presentation, but the message is what matters most, and that certainly isn't lost. I doubt the film will inspire women to take to the streets to bring down patriarchy, but it will make you appreciate what some brave women have gone through to tackle it. More importantly, Misbehaviour reminds you of how far we've come towards equal rights for women, but also how much further we still have to go. And that's why I'm going with 3.5 stars for it. For a film with such a compelling title, it ends up being a bit too safe and crowd pleasing. And maybe that's because it doesn't want to alienate the male audience, which is ironic considering its very premise. Still, the cast makes this a great watch, with each character given a compelling voice to remind us that there are still some things worth fighting for.